All right, you guys, so I just taught you the formula for Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and where c is the hypotenuse. But of course you can find any a, b, or c as long as you have two of the other letters, right? But what does it actually mean? What does this actually mean? Well, look at this triangle over here. If a is 3, right, and b is 4, c is 5, because a squared is 9, b squared is 16, 9 and 16 is 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. So the numbers work, but if we take a is the side, look at this, a is the side of this triangle, a is the side of this triangle here, that's 3. And when we square 3, we are literally creating a square that is 3 by 3. And the area of that square is 9, okay? And then on this side, when we square 4, we're literally creating a square that has an area of 16 because we're making a square that has 4 on every side. Now, when we say if we add them up, we get the square of 5, what we mean, oh, I need a darker color there, maybe. What we mean is if we add 9 and 16, we get 25. And I know that this makes sense to you number-wise, but I don't think you understand, well, maybe you do understand, but I want to make sure you understand. What that means is that both our, oh, look, I just blocked that out. Both our area of 9 and 16, both of these squares can fit into this big square. So you're literally saying that this square and this square will be equal to this big square if I made it on that side, okay? So all of the proofs, not all of the proofs, most of the proofs you look at or you will see in your math career of this theorem, and there's hundreds of them, literally hundreds of them, some of them done by United States presidents in the 1800s, will be dealing with the area part and not just the numbers part. But what we use it for is really the numbers. In fact, the Egyptians didn't know what they were doing, but they used rope to make 90-degree angles. And one side of the rope, they would make 3 feet. On one side of the rope, they'd make 4 feet. I don't know if they were feet, but they were units. And that they knew that if they made the other side 5 feet and they did this triangle, they would always, always, always get a right angle. So that's how they built the pyramids. So I think historically, you can look it up to double check, that they used Pythagorean theorem and ropes with knots without even knowing what it was, because it always gave a 90-degree angle, and their architects were able to build the pyramids. Okay, but let's do one more, because some of the practice problems are, again, using the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between 2 points. So, but it's not going to be like between cities like we've been doing. It's going to be just like between 2 points on a graph. So if they give you the point, -3, 5, and you actually graphed it, as you can see over here, you would have, right, -3, 5 right here, and your 7, -1, if it gave you 2 points, they would graph like this, right? Now, if you want to find the distance between those 2 points, you need to draw a right triangle. You don't have to draw it, but as long as you understand what's happening, okay, to figure it out, it's just like as if -3, 5 was Denver and 7, -1 was Lafayette. So first of all, I have to find the difference if we wanted to find side A, and this was side A, and that's the difference in y value. So this y is 5, and this y is -1. How far apart are they? They're 6, right? So A is equal to 6, a distance of 6 units, whatever those units are, okay? It's the distance, if I literally counted, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? But I don't have to graph them. I can just say how far apart are 5 and -1? Well, they're 6 apart. And if this longer side was b, okay, b would be, well, you could count if you graphed it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're 10 apart, right? So b would be 10. But you could also say, okay, I have -3. How far away is -3 from 7? Those are the x values there. And that's going to be 10 too. So you could just figure it out that way. Or 7 minus -3 is positive 10. So then we have, if we want to know c, we have 6 squared plus 10 squared equals c squared. 6 squared is 36 plus 100 equals c squared. So 136 equals c squared. So you take the square root of both sides, and you get c equals the square root of 136. Oops, 136. And you can put that into the calculator to get an answer, or simplify it, but we haven't done that yet. One thing I did want to tell you is normally when we take the square root, I don't want you to forget this because it'll be on the final, we'll have an answer that's both positive and negative. But when you're using the Pythagorean theorem, you're always trying to find a distance between 2 points, and distance, as we know from the absolute value, is always positive. So you never have to worry when you're using the Pythagorean theorem about that negative answer. The distance is always going to be positive. Okay, so we're going to do some practice problems that I've already assigned you on Khan Academy, 2 different things on Pythagorean theorem under coach recommendations. And I will be around answering questions, but you must have your notes done already. I'll be around answering questions if you need help.